Have you ever felt trapped under the control of a narcissist, as if they have an invisible grip on your mind, making you doubt yourself? But here's the truth they don't want you to know. You have a power they fear the most, and when you realize it, you become their worst nightmare. Narcissists thrive on control, manipulation, and turning you into their emotional supply. They want you to believe you're weak, that you can't survive without them. They want you to crave their validation, to keep chasing them, even after they've treated you horribly. But what happens when you refuse to play their game? When you take back your control, refuse to engage in their mental traps? When you realize that your worth doesn't depend on them, but is within you? Nothing terrifies a narcissist more than losing their grip on you. When you step out of their psychological web, when you start loving yourself, raising your value, and building a life without them, that is the greatest revenge, without saying a single word. Today, I'm going to show you how to become a narcissist's worst nightmare, how to detach from them completely, and most importantly, how to reclaim the power you never knew you had. Get ready, because what I'm about to share could change your life forever. If you're ready to break free and take back your power, hit that subscribe button now and join our journey. Before you can take back control and escape a narcissist's manipulation, you need to understand how they operate. Narcissistic abuse isn't like any other kind of abuse. It doesn't leave visible scars, but instead it slowly erodes you from the inside out. It makes you doubt yourself, lose trust in your own reality, and gradually become a weaker version of yourself. This is why so many people don't realize they're being abused until it's too late. But when you understand how a narcissist controls their victims, you can spot the signs early and break free before they completely destroy you. The first sign is love bombing. At the beginning, a narcissist makes you feel like the most important person in their world. They shower you with affection, listen intently, and make grand promises about the future. But this isn't love. It's a calculated move to hook you emotionally. Once you're attached, they no longer need to keep up the act. Then comes gaslighting, the most dangerous tool in their arsenal. They distort reality, deny things that happened, and make you feel like you're imagining everything. When you call them out, they say things like, "You're overreacting, that never happened," or "You're too sensitive." Over time, you stop trusting yourself, and they become the only voice you rely on. Next is triangulation. They bring a third party into the picture, an ex, a co-worker, a family member, to make you feel insecure. They subtly compare you to others, making you feel like you're not enough. This pushes you to compete for their approval, giving them even more control. Then comes devaluation. Once they know you're fully invested, they start tearing you down. What they once loved about you becomes what they criticize most. Your self-worth erodes, and you start believing you're not good enough. Finally, when you no longer serve their needs, they discard you, but they never truly leave. They always keep the door open, waiting to see if they can pull you back in. Recognizing these signs is the first step to reclaiming your power. The narcissist wants you to believe you're weak, that you can't survive without them. But that is the biggest lie they have ever told you. You are not weak. You have been programmed to doubt yourself, to submit to their control. But what happens when you break that programming and take back your power? Imagine a world where you no longer fear their manipulation, a world where you are no longer controlled by their lies, no longer trapped in the fear of abandonment. When you finally see the narcissist for what they really are, a weak, insecure person hiding behind a mask of control, that is the moment you become their worst nightmare. Nothing terrifies a narcissist more than losing their grip on you, seeing you grow stronger, happier, and completely independent of them. But escaping isn't enough. How do you not only break free but turn the tables completely? How do you shatter their control for good, rebuild your life, and make sure they can never touch you again? The answer lies in the next part, where I will reveal the most powerful strategies to make you the narcissist's worst nightmare. These are the secrets they never want you to know, and trust me, You will regret it if you miss this. Stay tuned, because what I'm about to share could change your life forever. Strategy 1. Devalue the narcissist and take back control. The first way to become a narcissist's worst nightmare is to devalue them in your mind. This is what they fear the most because their entire power over you relies on how they make you perceive them. A narcissist is not stronger, smarter, or more capable than you. They only made you believe they were. But the moment you see through their illusion, they lose their most dangerous weapon. Think back to the beginning of your relationship. They worked so hard to convince you that they were special, charming, talented, different from anyone you've ever met. They made you feel lucky to have them in your life. But this was never real. The truth is, they have nothing except manipulation. And when you realize that, they become worthless. Devaluing a narcissist means seeing them for who they truly are. Not as someone irresistible, not as someone you can't live without, but as a weak, insecure person who needs to control others to feel important. Once you can detach emotionally and view them objectively, they can no longer control you. The first step is acknowledging the pain they caused you. How did they manipulate you? How did they twist reality to make you doubt yourself? How did they make you feel unworthy, like you always had to prove yourself to them? Write it all down. When you see the full picture laid out in front of you, you'll realize that they were never strong. They just used you to hide their own weakness. Next, stop idolizing them. Maybe a part of you still believes they had something special, that maybe they truly loved you in some way. But ask yourself, would someone who truly loved you treat you like this? Someone who genuinely cares about you wouldn't try to destroy your self-esteem, manipulate you, or use you to satisfy their own needs. And most importantly, stop letting them control your emotions. Narcissists feed off your pain, your anger, your need for closure. Every time you react, you show them they still have power over you. But when you become completely indifferent, when you stop caring what they think, say, or do, you cut off their emotional supply. That is what terrifies them the most. When you devalue them in your mind, you reclaim control. You're no longer manipulated by their false promises, their mind games, or their desperate attempts to pull you back in. They will try to convince you that you're wrong, that you're losing someone special, but you know the truth. You're not losing anything. They are the ones losing someone who once truly cared for them. Stay tuned because in the next part, I'll reveal the next powerful strategy, how to completely remove a narcissist from your life and make sure they never come back. You won't want to miss this. Trust me, you will regret it if you do. Strategy 2. Remove the narcissist from your life. Devaluing the narcissist in your mind is the first step, but if you still allow them to remain in your life, they will find a way to regain control. Narcissists never accept defeat. They despise losing power, and they will do whatever it takes to pull you back in. That's why the next strategy is to remove them completely, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. Don't fool yourself into thinking you can stay on good terms or keep a safe distance. To a narcissist, any connection is an opportunity to manipulate you again. If you keep even the smallest door open through occasional conversations, social media, or mutual friends, they will creep back in, plant seeds of doubt, and drag you right back into their control. So how do you remove them for good? The only answer is no contact, completely, permanently, without exception. The first thing you must do is cut off all lines of communication, delete their number, block them on social media, shut down any possible way they can reach you. If they try to contact you through email, texts, or through mutual friends, ignore them. They will try everything from fake apologies, promises to change, and love bombing to provoking you just to get a reaction. Don't fall for it. No response is the most powerful response. If you're in a situation where complete no contact isn't possible, such as co-parenting or working together, use the grey rock method. This means being emotionless, boring, and unresponsive to their manipulations. Keep interactions minimal, stick to necessary topics, show no emotion, and refuse to engage in their mind games. Once they realize they can't get a reaction from you, they will eventually lose interest. But cutting contact isn't enough. You must also remove their influence from your mind. A narcissist can live in your head long after they've left your life. If you're still thinking about them, wondering, did they ever care, or could they change, then they still have power over you. You must reclaim that mental space and replace them with healthier thoughts. Start by writing down every terrible thing they did to you. Every time you feel weak, reread that list to remind yourself why you must stand firm. Focus on yourself, build new habits, invest in personal growth, engage in activities that uplift you. Every time your mind drifts back to the past, redirect it to the future, a future where the narcissist no longer exists in your life. Removing a narcissist isn't just about ending a relationship. It's a declaration that you are no longer controlled, that you are no longer their puppet. It is how you take back ownership of your life. And when they realize you have completely stepped out of their influence, that is their worst nightmare. But cutting them out is only part of the battle. How do you rebuild yourself, reclaim your strength, and ensure you never fall for their trap again? Strategy 3. Elevate your self-worth, the weapon that terrifies a narcissist. You've devalued the narcissist, you've removed them from your life, but that's not enough. The next step is to elevate your self-worth. And this is what terrifies a narcissist the most. They once made you believe you weren't good enough, that you needed them to feel valuable. But that was just a mental trap. The truth is, you are stronger than they ever imagined, and you don't need anyone's validation to know your worth. When you start rebuilding yourself, when you love yourself and recognize your true value, that's when you completely strip them of any power they had over you. So, how do you truly elevate your self-worth and become the most powerful version of yourself? First, stop seeking external validation. One of a narcissist's biggest manipulations is creating a mental state where you constantly crave their approval. They want you to feel like your worth is dependent on their attention, affection, or acceptance. But you must break this cycle. Your value doesn't come from them, doesn't come from anyone. It comes from within you. Next, build your self-esteem from the inside out. This means redefining yourself, not through the lens of the narcissist, but in the way you truly want. Take time to discover what genuinely makes you happy, develop new skills, set new goals, and pursue things that make you proud of yourself. When you're focused on creating the life you want, the narcissist becomes irrelevant. Then, surround yourself with people who lift you up. The narcissist tried to isolate you, making you feel like you couldn't trust anyone but them. Now is the time to change that. Find people who bring positive energy, who support you, who help you feel stronger, not weaker. A healthy community becomes a powerful shield against any attempts the narcissist makes to come back. Most importantly, stop asking for permission to live the way you want. You don't need anyone's approval to succeed, to be happy, to chase your dreams. Every goal, every dream, every aspiration deserves to be pursued, no matter how much the narcissist tried to convince you otherwise. Elevating your self-worth isn't just a personal act. It's a power move. It's proof that you are no longer controlled, that you have become someone they can no longer manipulate. And this is what sends a narcissist into panic mode, because they see that you are no longer vulnerable, no longer someone they can control through fear or manipulation. Now you have a choice. You can keep letting the narcissist's shadow linger in your life, or you can rise up, claim your true worth, and leave them in the past where they belong. The decision is yours. If you're still on this journey with me, drop a 1 in the comments to let me know you're ready to take back control of your life. Strategies. 4. Build a new support system. the shield against narcissists. You've devalued the narcissist. You've removed them from your life. You've elevated your self-worth. But there's one more critical step: building a new support system. No one rebuilds their life alone, especially after being manipulated and drained by a narcissist. They isolated you, made you feel alone, made you believe that no one cared about you but them. But that was the biggest lie they wanted you to believe. The truth is, there are genuine people out there who care, who want to see you stronger than ever. Why is a support system so important? Because when you surround yourself with good, honest, and positive people, the narcissist's manipulation loses its power. You won't be isolated or stuck in the negative mindset they programmed into you. You'll have a protective shield, a warning system for anyone who tries to manipulate you again. So how do you build a strong support system? First, seek out people who have been through the same thing. No one understands you better than those who have survived narcissistic abuse and reclaimed their power. Join support groups, online forums, or find communities where you can connect with people who truly get what you've been through. You are not alone, and when you hear others' stories, you'll see yourself in them. Next, eliminate any remaining toxic relationships. A narcissist rarely operates alone. They have allies, people who will continue to plant doubt and try to pull you back in. If you have friends or family members who constantly tear you down, make you feel bad about yourself, or defend the narcissist's actions, cut them off immediately. You don't need their toxicity in your life. Then, reconnect with people who genuinely care about you. This could be old friends you've lost touch with, trustworthy colleagues, or even new people you meet as you pursue new passions. Actively build positive connections, relationships based on mutual respect and trust. Finally, learn to accept support. If you've been conditioned by a narcissist to feel isolated, opening up to new people may feel difficult, but remember, you deserve love, support, and real connections. When you allow yourself to receive help, you're not just healing, you're becoming a stronger version of yourself. Once you have a solid support system, the narcissist no longer has any way back into your life. They can only control you when you are isolated and vulnerable. But when you are surrounded by people who uplift you, you become untouchable. You are no longer a victim. You are free. But don't stop here. How do you continue growing and make sure no one ever takes away the strength you've built? That answer is coming up next. If you're still on this journey with me, hit the like button to let me know you're ready to build a stronger, freer future. Strategy 5. Reverse the psychological manipulation. Take back control of the game. You've done everything right. You've devalued the narcissist, removed them from your life, elevated your self-worth, and built a strong support system. But there's one more crucial step: ensuring that you never fall into their psychological traps again. Narcissists are masters of manipulation. They use subtle, calculated tactics to control your emotions, make you doubt yourself, and even feel guilty when you've done nothing wrong. But now, it's time to flip the script. Reversing their manipulation doesn't mean becoming a narcissist yourself. It means protecting yourself, standing firm, and refusing to let them control you ever again. When you recognize their tactics, you can break free from the toxic cycle and strip them of their power over you. First, recognize their most common manipulation tactics. Gaslighting is one of their most dangerous weapons. They'll deny reality, distort facts, and make you feel like you're losing your mind. If you've ever heard phrases like, "You're too sensitive," "That never happened," or "You're imagining things," then you know they're trying to manipulate you. Don't argue. Don't try to make them admit the truth. Just trust yourself. Next, don't react the way they expect you to. A narcissist thrives on controlling your emotions. They want you to get angry, to defend yourself, to try and please them. But when you stay calm, detached, and unbothered, they lose interest. This is the essence of the grey rock method: making yourself as dull and unresponsive as possible in their eyes. Another powerful tool is mirroring their tactics back at them. Narcissists love to project their own flaws onto you. They blame you for the very things they're guilty of. Instead of explaining yourself, turn it back on them. If they say, "You're too controlling," calmly respond, "Do you think you might be the one trying to control this situation?" If they say, "You're so ungrateful," ask, "What exactly are you expecting from me?" This forces them to confront their own behavior, which they hate, because they can't manipulate you like they used to. Most importantly, hold on to your truth. The narcissist will do everything they can to twist reality and make you feel like you're wrong. But you don't need their validation. Your truth is your truth, whether they admit it or not. When you reverse their manipulation, you're not just protecting yourself, you're sending a clear message: I am no longer a pawn in your game. I have reclaimed my power, and that is what terrifies them the most. The healing journey. You are stronger than you think. You've been through a mental battle that not everyone can understand. You've endured manipulation, deception, and the pain of realizing that someone you trusted was actually destroying you. But stop for a second and look at yourself. You're still here. You're still moving forward. That doesn't just mean you survived. It means you are far stronger than you ever imagined. Carl Jung, one of the greatest psychologists of all time, once said, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." This is the moment you choose your path. You are not a victim of the narcissist. You are not defined by what they did to you. You are the one who decides who you become. Remember, healing isn't about going back to who you were. It's about becoming someone stronger, wiser, and impossible to manipulate. Everything you've been through is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your transformation. You are no longer the person who was easily deceived or controlled. You are becoming someone who knows their worth, who protects themselves, and who will never let anyone hold power over them again. Martin Seligman, the father of positive psychology, once said, "True strength does not come from what you can do. It comes from overcoming the things you once thought you couldn't." You've overcome a narcissist, and that is something not everyone can do. You've escaped a toxic cycle that many people are still trapped in. You faced some of the darkest parts of your mind and stepped out of it. That is real strength. But this journey isn't just about escaping a narcissist. You deserve a full life. A life where you don't just survive, but thrive. Now is the time to look ahead, to pursue what you love, to build healthy relationships, and to rediscover the joy you once lost. Abraham Maslow once said, "What one can be, one must be. Inside you there is a force, a version of yourself waiting to be awakened. You don't need anyone's permission to step into your true power. You already have everything you need to build the life you want." Remember, healing is not a destination, it's a journey. There will be days when you feel strong, and there will be days when you feel weak. But with each passing day, with every step forward, you are becoming a version of yourself that no one can break or manipulate ever again. So ask yourself right now, will you continue to let the wounds of the past define you, or will you use them as fuel to create a life that is unbreakable? Keep going. You deserve better. You deserve freedom, and you are stronger than you think.